Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode. I'm your host James. Alongside me as always, his name is...
I'm Andy.
We welcome you to join us on his journey as we all become legend of the nerds. Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
How are you?
Well, you know, same old. Can't complain. Still kicking.
Yeah? Job still treating you well?
Yeah, I love it.
Fantastic.
Except for the days I have to work front desk, but... Because I like staying on that course of the sleep schedule.
Yep.
And then when they throw that monkey wrench in where you got to work 3 to 11 instead of 11 at night to 7 in the morning, kind of messes with you a little bit.
Your inner clock, I bet.
Yeah. So, but I like it. It's entertaining, you can say. I signed a confidentiality agreement, so I can't talk too much about things that happen.
Of course not.
But
course
yeah, it keeps you entertained, I guess.
Yeah.
So. Definitely can't wait, though, to move out there. The drive...
It's killer, right?
It's not like it's a long drive. It's only out to Essex, so it's
right.
30, 40 minutes, depending on traffic. But it's... When you go out, it's 11 o'clock at night, and your body's telling you, go to bed, because it's late at night.
On to sleep.
And then come 7 o'clock in the morning, you're tired, and now you still got to drive through all the rush hour traffic of people going to work. So, yeah. Fun.
Yeah. I can't wait to move down to Chittenden County either.
Yeah.
Just get rid of the drive and...
Well, and that's the thing. I found an apartment down there that was very interesting. It would have been a shared house with 2 other guys. And monkey wrench again got thrown in my plans because I think I've mentioned to you before, my parents let me borrow their car because my truck was out of commission for a while.
Yep.
And I blew out the tire. I hit the curb and it just blew the tire out. And so because I told them I'll pay for it. It was my fault, After the insurance, we thought it would be about $200, $250. Come to find out, insurance doesn't cover tires.
Nope.
When does insurance not cover everything that happens to the car? Like an accident, if someone had hit me and blew out my tire, still wouldn't cover it.
No.
What's the point of insurance if they don't cover anything?
It covers me the car drivable mechanically.
Which is a bunch of bull. It's just like if a tree branch falls and hits your vehicle and puts a dent in it or busts the window. And, that's an act of God. We can't cover that either.
Once you have full coverage, then it covers it.
We have basically everything. You would think a tire would be included.
Apparently you have a bad insurance company.
Oh, the folks are going to change now because that's a crock.
Yeah, it is.
So, but yeah. That's what's been going on in my life.
That's the life of Andy right there.
Yeah. So, but you should be interesting things going on. It's Halloween tomorrow.
Halloween is tomorrow.
The kid's going out.
My oldest son doesn't want to. He much rather stay home and watch the movies. So
I was gonna say, is he much rather stay home and play on the tablet?
No, he wants to watch.
Because your kids are obsessed with their tablets.
Every kid is obsessed with tablets.
Yes, but
it's bad.
Yours are glued to them, like seriously glued.
Yeah.
So, anything they go on as, or just gonna go out?
One's gonna be Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
One is gonna be a panda bear. The other one's gonna be a unicorn.
And I can guess all that.
Yeah.
Who's what? Because I already know what they like. So.
But Riley's gonna stay home and watch a horror movie instead.
Well, we do have candy, so either I won't be there tomorrow, which upsets me because I have family who have kids that I don't get to see because I got to work 3 to 11.
Right.
But yeah, so they'll have candy whether I bring it over or whatnot. So
fantastic.
I know they always love to get presents from Uncle Andy.
Of course they do.
But moving on, we have a packed show today.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, let me tell you, when we hit wrestling talk, half my notes are wrestling.
Well, I mean, we're doing wrestling talk now.
You want to jump right into it?
Let's just jump right into wrestling talk.
We got to watch TLC.
Yes.
I am always looking forward to pay-per-views like this because they're stipulation pay-per-views. Instead of just
That's why we like them.
Yeah, instead of just getting the regular No Mercy or Backlash or Survivor Series, you get one that has TLC. You're expecting a tables, ladders, and chairs match, a chair match, a table match, and a ladder match. Yep. All 4 of them. We only got one. And it wasn't really a TLC match. If you have a TLC match, you're expected to climb the ladder and get something up top. I'll give my review of this pay-per-view at the end, but let's jump into it. Started off with Asuka versus Emma. Asuka's debut on the main roster. I know you don't get to watch her that often because she was in NXT. What did you think of Asuka debuting?
Oh, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been better though.
Entertaining.
Would have been better if it was against a A-rated woman wrestler.
Right.
I mean, Emma didn't do too bad
I mean, this was Emma's first singles match on a pay-per-view, wasn't it?
in a while. So Asuka wins, but I mean, it wasn't bad compared to the rest of the matches. So
It definitely wasn't the worst match of the night.
do you see Asuka making a run, letting her have this run like she did in NXT where she was undefeated for 400 something days, 500 days?
The problem, if she has that run, is that she's going to single-handedly make the Divas division, the women's division, look all like crap.
True.
That's the problem. I mean, they want to hype up Charlotte all they want. Besides her long legs and flexibility, she's really not all that talented in that ring. She looks nervous all the time.
So you're saying she's like her father?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's not all of that impressive. I mean, Alicia Fox has more talent.
Yeah.
And look where she is.
They make her crazy.
Exactly. You don't really see those talented wrestlers.
Yeah. Moving on, we had a tag team cruiserweight division match. So something you'd like, the cruiserweights plus tag team.
Yep.
We had Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann versus Jack Gallagher, the new heel Jack Gallagher, and Brian Kendrick. Not too much to say in this. It's high-flying tag team match. But I always like to point out when you get to watch Jack Gallagher, because you don't get to see him much, the headbutts. This guy
It's brutal,
This
right?
guy just headbutts you for a finisher.
Every time I'm like, ostrich. That's all I see.
Yep. I mean, it's funny to watch. Like, he is a heel now, but it's just headbutt. And
The guy's super talented, too.
all I can think of when I see him do a headbutt, if you remember at WrestleMania, you had Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler on the top of a ladder
Doing
just
the headbutt,
headbutting
yeah.
each other. So, yeah, I mean, it was high-flying cruiserweight
But always
action.
seeing Swan in action is a pleasure.
Yeah,
that guy's wicked talented.
Yes, very talented. We had only one of two title matches, which astounds me that we can't have all the titles on the line at a
Right.
pay-per-view. But the Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss, versus Mickie James. You finally get to see your girl Mickie James wrestle again. How was it?
It was a decent match.
Well, that's the thing, too. You wouldn't think, looking at Alexa Bliss's figure, for instance, that you would see a very talented wrestler. And she is.
Yeah.
She deserves to be champion. Mickie James does, too. Mickie James was going to trying to tie that night Trish Stratus' all-time
Right.
record of 6 or 7 women's championships. I think it's 7. But she didn't pull it off. Alexa Bliss does pull out the victory, but probably the best match of the night.
I mean, I don't use this term. I use this term all the time, but Alexa Bliss, she doesn't deserve it. She's not a diva. She's proved to be a women's wrestler. She can look fantastic, but still be brutal in that ring.
Yeah, she's got
she's proven
she has
that.
the looks of the diva, but the talent of a superstar.
Of an actual wrestler.
Yeah.
Which I like to see.
Yep. What can I say about Mickie James? Nothing bad.
Always impressive every time I see her in that ring.
Exactly. It was funny because the weeks prior and the weeks after TLC, she'd come out and go after Alexa Bliss wearing those high heel boots. And I know we talk about, oh, well, you want to see a wrestler, not a diva, but Mickie pulls it off. But God, how does she not break her ankle or fall?
Oh,
It's amazing.
it's years practice.
So I want to see Mickie James versus Alexa Bliss again. So hopefully,
I wouldn't mind watching that
hopefully
match
we get
again.
The rematch at Survivor Series. Moving on, we had Enzo Amore going to try to become a 2-time Cruiserweight champion and get his rematch against Kalisto. Does exactly what Enzo does. Takes a cheap shot, gets and gets the title. He pokes Kalisto in the eyes and rolls.
Enzo is playing the heel. He's doing a good job at it. Yeah.
Great job at it. But again, this is what I complain about in wrestling so much, and it's mostly on Raw, is Kalisto held the title for 6 days, and then they changed it back over. I hate that because then we praise wrestlers for how many titles they've won, yet seriously, you lost it,
Hand him out.
and then we hand it right back to you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when it was Sasha and Charlotte. Sasha, Charlotte, going back and forth each month. Why do we have to... Here, have the title for a week. It's stupid. Just write it in the storyline that, okay, you're not going to win it, and he's going to win.
So why do you think they do that?
Because otherwise we wouldn't be talking about it. That's why. I've mentioned it in prior episodes.
Do you want to know why they actually do that?
Sure, wrestling god over here that knows everything.
They do that to push Enzo hard. That him losing it was just a fluke. So he can win it right back to prove to the cruiserweights and the fans that he is someone to mess with. It's just a gimmick to make someone look better than they are.
The funny thing out of this is Enzo is known for his promos more than his wrestling. And that night, he couldn't really cut a promo because he was losing his voice. The following night on Monday Night Raw, he actually hands one of his lackeys, because he has his little click now, a speech to read because he literally cannot say anything.
So Enzo's got this group going now?
Yeah. It's like 4 other heel cruiserweights that are with him now. And he couldn't speak. He tried to, and it just
lost his voice.
There was nothing there. I mean, he screamed out. They were spelling something out, and he was the last letter, and he screamed it, and you could barely understand him.
Oh wow!
So his persona is gone right now. And that's kind of, to me, a little hilarious. The one thing you're great at,
exactly,
it's gone right now. It was supposed to be originally Finn Balor or the Demon versus Bray Wyatt, a.k.a. Sister Abigail. Bray Wyatt had a medical emergency, could not compete in the match, so they ended up asking SmackDown and brought AJ Styles, who SmackDown was actually in South Africa during the time of TLC, doing promotions down there and wrestling down there, and they shipped AJ overnight to TLC to have the match everybody's been waiting for, which is Finn Balor versus AJ. 2 former heads of the Bullet Club over in New Japan Wrestling.
Do you think that was a good call?
Yes, because everyone's been wanting the match, but the problem was because there was no time to prepare, the match wasn't great.
No. The problem I had with that match is just because everybody wants to watch it doesn't mean they should watch it.
It could have been a match for WrestleMania.
A better build up to that kind of epic match.
Yeah.
That match was a fail because there was no build up.
Yeah.
There was just 2 random wrestlers in the middle of the ring going at it. There was no story. There's nothing going on. So for me, the match was extremely boring to watch.
Oh, it was. Like I said, the best match of this entire pay-per-view was the Women's Championship match.
Yeah.
You have Finn ends up winning, which I really thought AJ was going to probably pull out the victory with one of the moves you love, I think, the coup de grace, the double foot stomp off the top rope.
That was brutal that night, too.
But again, the problem was you literally had the announcement of this happening on Tuesday, AJ flying on Saturday, and having to wrestle the match on Saturday.
And, I mean, you knew AJ wasn't going to win that match anyways. They're not going to put a SmackDown boy over in a Raw pay-per-view.
Yeah, but you are right. This match deserves to have a build-up for like a WrestleMania-type style match. Yeah. So I was very upset with this match.
I mean, the Cena-AJ match was well built up.
Yeah.
So that was a good match.
The next match developed throughout the night. That was Jason Jordan versus Elias. Elias's gimmick is this singer with his guitar and everything. And Jason Jordan, every time he tried to sing, like twice or 3 times during the night, he was throwing garbage and produce at him.
Right.
So they have their match. Whoop-de-doo. Jason Jordan wins. But I was telling you, this is the gimmick with Elias. Every time he tries to come out, people interrupt him constantly. Where it's going to go from there, I don't know. We'll see. They had a match on Raw where Elias just, I think, got himself DQ'd in the match.
I don't see Elias sticking around much longer.
No.
Yeah. His gimmick of that ring thing isn't doing anything, and no one's really caring.
I think they're trying to do a cross between Jeff Jarrett and The Rock kind of thing. You have Jeff Jarrett with the guitar and The Rock constantly singing.
Which is fine, but it's just very slowly and dull.
Yeah. It was in NXT, too. So
It's nothing good.
the final match was the TLC match. We had, it was supposed to be the Shield versus The Miz, Cesaro and Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Kane. 3-on-5 TLC match. Braun Strowman had an infection and could not compete, so Kurt Angle came back earlier than expected to wrestle in this match. Your thoughts on Kurt Angle coming... We'll have our thoughts on the match, but our thoughts on Kurt Angle coming back earlier than expected.
If they were going to bring him back in a tag match was probably the way to do it. Because you don't want to bring him back in a solo match because we don't know what kind of ring rust Kurt Angle has.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is a cyborg.
Exactly. And
You
like
know?
you said, that's
So
why they
we don't
call
know
him the
how much
cyborg.
pain he's feeling right now. So bringing him back in a stipulation of a tag match was a good call by WWE.
You know, we complain when it happens to Brock Lesnar, who had to leave a match early and go in the back and get a breather, but that's Brock, so we hate him. But it was kind of smart with Kurt, because they did it with Kurt, where he got stretchered out, was in the back for about 15 minutes, then came back. And it kind of was probably the ring rust. He needed a breather.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's 50 years old, something like
Right.
that. I mean, he deserves to take a breather. And I will say, though, towards the second half of the match, he started pulling out Kurt Angle moves, and he looked like the Kurt Angle of old. Again, this match ticked me off because my thoughts, to make it great, but then they added Braun Strowman and Kane in it, is if it was the Shield originally and Miz and Cesaro and Sheamus, they should have put all 3 titles up, the tag team titles and the IC title.
They should have done something.
And whichever
like that.
team won got all 3 titles.
Yeah.
Wasn't that great of a TLC match. Majority of what they used were chairs throughout the match. You might have seen someone go through a table or two. What this match did was, though, it promoted Kane more than anything. You had where Kane ends up throwing Braun Strowman into the garbage truck and locking him into the dumpster part. And to me, that's what this whole match was all about, is starting this rivalry between 2 monsters, Braun Strowman and Kane.
Okay.
Getting into... That's the end of TLC, and I'll just jump to Raw real quick. The next night on Raw, Kane comes out. He demolishes... AJ Styles wrestled on Raw that night with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Kane comes out and destroys them. He then grabs a microphone and talks about how he single-handedly destroyed the monster among men, Braun Strowman, and he took a quote from Braun saying that he wants competition. Finn Balor answered that that Monday night. One of the best matches I've seen on Raw all year between Kane and Finn Balor.
Yeah?
Amazing match. Kane pulls out the victory. The reason I say this match was so great is because it showed Kane in Kane prime.
Right.
Kane looked like Kane of old 10 years ago. It was really good, and I hope this is the push that Kane needs to bring him back to glory.
You don't think it's a push for his retirement?
It could be.
Go out on a high note?
It could be. But I hope to see, on that high note, the Kane of old.
Yeah.
Because we both are fans of Kane. So, we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't happen where, oh, now Braun comes back and just has
Demolishes him.
Yeah, where he has a match like with Big Show or other big guys, and it makes the other guy, who has been great for years, look like crap.
That's one thing I think Vince always got wrong, putting big guys against big guys all
Because
the
Vince
time.
loves
He does.
the big guys.
Vince Man loves the big guys. but-
Where Hunter, Triple H, loves the average size guy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason he helped bring back the Cruiserweight division. So,
Well, remember, Hunter wasn't always a big guy.
no, he's the average type guy.
Back in the 90s, he was edge size for a long time.
Oh, yeah,
you
when he
know?
was Hunter Hearst Helmsley in
Yeah.
WCW.
So, yeah, and that's why I think he respects it more.
Yeah. So my grade out of 10 for TLC was very low. It was a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's
I agree.
pretty bad. But my thought was, okay, they're saving money for the coming up month, November, for Survivor Series, which Survivor Series is the 19th of November. Because Survivor Series, it's one of the big 4. And Survivor Series has been really bad the last 5-6 years.
Right.
So my thought was, okay, maybe we're going to have something special. I'll get to that in a little bit. It's not as special.
It's not going to be special?
No. Moving on to Raw. I'm going to quickly go through this. Told you about the Kane situation.
Yep.
We then had the rematch, Asuka versus Emma. Horrible.
Of course.
It was like 2 minutes long. And you posted to me the news after that just broke a couple days ago that WWE and Emma have come to terms.
Yep. Let's talk about it after because I have more to add to that.
Okay. Well, quickly, I just want to say, so they've come to terms and Emma has been released. Yep. We then had, let me grab some notes here. It wasn't a very exciting Raw. Even SmackDown wasn't. Kurt comes out to announce what Survivor Series is going to be, and all it is the typical Raw versus SmackDown.
Of course.
We have no title matches.
No.
It's just our champions versus your champions, our 5 men versus your 5 men, our 5 women versus your 5 women.
Yeah.
If there is a title that's going to be up on the line, it'll probably be the Cruiserweight title.
Yep, probably.
So Kurt comes out to announce his team, and Shane and SmackDown invade Raw and just run rapid through the locker rooms. Destroyed everybody, and that's how the show ends. So on SmackDown, one of the big thing that's going on is the return of Sin Cara. You remember Sin Cara?
Yeah.
So he's got 2 victories now over the U.S. champion, Baron Corbin.
Oh, fantastic.
Granted, they're count out and by disqualification. Does he deserve a U.S. title match?
Sin Cara, yes. Yes, he does.
Problem with this is they've done this before. Remember someone you really used to hate really bad, Wade Barrett? Mm-hmm. He used to be Intercontinental Champion, and Sin Cara got 2 victories this way over him. They then just throw Sin Cara a title match, and he loses. And that's the end of the storyline. I feel like this is where they're going again with it. Nothing's going to happen out of it.
I hope not.
So, we'll see. We have the rebranding of a tag team. 2 Wyatt family members, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. They have been rebranded. They kind of still look the same. They wear these like hoodies and rags, and their promos set out in the forest, sounding just like the Wyatt family all over again. They're still wearing the sheep masks. And now they have like axes and hammers, and they're called the Bludgeon Brothers. And they just bludgeon you to death by hammering your things.
That is
down.
Goofy and stupid.
It's basically they're just redoing the Wyatt family all over again.
The
kind of
problem
thing.
with Luke and Eric is that those guys are pretty talented, and WWE is
especially for big guys.
WWE is just crapping all over them. If you want to rebrand them hardcore. Mm-hmm. Shave, clean cut. Do like a mob boss type of thing.
Okay.
Put them in suit ties and stuff like that for their promos.
Yeah.
Do something decent with them instead of this hillbilly redneck stuff. That's not doing anybody any favors.
No, they really aren't rebranding them.
No, they're not rebranding at all.
So, but they'll all of a sudden get this massive push and then nothing, probably. We had the week prior, Dolph Ziggler got his rematch against Bobby Roode, and Bobby used the tights on Ziggler at their last the SmackDown pay-per-view because Ziggler tried to do it. Well, Ziggler finally got it done and used the tights then on Bobby. So they decide to have a match coming up this week, and they're going to have a best 2 out of 3 falls.
Okay.
My problem is I'm hoping it's going to be something good because the last 2 matches were crap. You're expecting something great from Bobby Roode, the glorious one, and the best wrestler of all eternity, as Ziggler puts himself. You would expect something magical and something you're going to remember for a while, and their matches haven't been that good.
No chemistry between them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really see much chemistry.
What's funny out of this is that during the promos, Roode is older than Ziggler.
Yeah.
But Ziggler calls him a kid. He's like, yeah, good going, kid. Maybe you'll get him next time, kid. Because he's green in WWE.
Yes.
Yet Roode probably has double the experience than Ziggler.
Maybe.
Still.
I mean, Ziggler's been wrestling for a long time, too.
Okay.
Think about it,
Roode is not a kid.
Ziggler's been in the company since the late 90s.
Still. So we have that going on. And the last match we had was Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton. The week prior, we had a Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn tag team match against Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura. KO and Sami get the win because Sami Zayn low blows Randy Orton behind the ref's back and then pins him. So Kevin Owens comes out to try to get the ref distracted so Sami could take advantage, and Orton just gives him a low blow that everyone's going to remember for a long time. Sami just stands there with this look on his face.
That's awesome.
And he's just standing there looking straight into Randy's eyes, and Randy's just like, yep, it's coming. And just RKOs him really hard. I mean, it was a perfect setup.
Good.
And the whole thing is, the stipulation in this match is whoever wins becomes the first member of Team SmackDown. So it is Orton, which makes sense. You should have one of your best wrestlers on your team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next week, we get Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Winner of that goes on to...
That's a good match.
So, is it going to be the same where Kevin Owens now loses and Shinsuke's on the team? Who would you rather see on Team SmackDown, Shinsuke or KO?
It's a tough one, man. I think for storyline purposes, Kevin Owens should be on the team.
We'll see.
Just for a long-term storyline planning, I think it should be KO.
Well, this is finishing up Wrestling Talk. I told you I had a lot of it. Here's the card now for Survivor Series. We have Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal. Whoop-de-doo with that match.
Right, of course.
That is going to be the bathroom break. On Raw, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar literally laughed that they had to face Jinder Mahal. Which, can you blame them?
Yeah, I can't really blame him.
We have Alexa Bliss versus Natalya. Should be a decent match there. We have The Miz versus Baron Corbin. We have the Usos versus Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. The Raw men, don't know anybody there yet. SmackDown men, we only know Orton. And we have the SmackDown women, which are Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Naomi, Camilla, and Tamina, versus the Raw women, which are Alicia Fox, Sasha Banks, and Bayley so far.
Okay.
If you listen to that, you notice it's a lot of heel versus heel.
Yeah.
Granted, they're saying that these are the people so far slated in these matches. You could lose the title come then. So my thought is we're going to be seeing some title matches. You have to. You can't go almost 2 months with no title matches.
No, you can't.
So, but again, it's the same old Survivor Series. I don't mind Raw versus SmackDown. That's what Survivor Series is meant for. It's supposed to be brand versus brand or team versus team, stuff like that. But put a stipulation in there somewhere.
Something interesting, yeah.
Do something different. Don't just have the same boring thing over and over and over and over. Especially when you have two world champions who are B-rated superstars. It's just... My guess is, this is what I want to see. Because we don't know Team Raw yet, I mentioned to you this a couple nights ago. I said, we haven't seen Samoa Joe in a while.
Right.
How great would it be if he's the surprise coming back at Survivor Series for Team Raw?
It could happen.
Like, it sets up the night and it's still 4-on-5 and you don't know, and then Joe's music hits. That's what's going to blow the roof off.
But if you think about it now, is it though?
Oh, maybe it's Kurt is going to come back and join the team.
Yeah.
And Shane joins his team. Because that was a match I wanted to see. Shane gets into Kurt's face that Monday night and basically invades. And I so badly want... They need to add one more SmackDown versus Raw match and have Shane versus Kurt.
Yeah.
Because you remember King of the Ring, Shane versus Kurt, back in the 90s? Or early 2000s, where he tries to flip him into the glass and it doesn't break? That was a great match. I want to see that again.
Let's do that again, yeah.
So, that's Survivor Series right now. I don't have high hopes.
No.
Thank God, well, no, I don't say thank God January is around the corner because I hate the snow, but the Rumble's coming up.
Rumble is coming up.
So, I will have more on another brand, which is Impact, coming up. I'm way behind in Impact. I have like 3 episodes I still got to watch. But their WrestleMania is coming up this weekend, Bound for Glory. And I looked at the card, and it's a pretty decent card so far. So, I'll definitely have more on that later.
Well, a little bit of wrestling news for you from my side.
Yes.
You did mention Emma was released. but there's 2 other guys that get released too.
Really?
On Sunday, yeah. So the release came on Sunday. So Monday was Emma's last match.
Yes.
So you have Emma gone, Summer Rae was released,
Whoop-de-doo.
and Darren Young was released.
Again, whoop-de-doo.
Yes. Whoop-de-doo, but they are now gone. We don't have to worry about them. I always said it, Emma, you know, it might be good that she's gone. You know, she didn't really bring much to the table. She tried to. I just think with more training, she could have brought something harsh to the
too
table.
Is she's already been suspended twice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she was on thin ice.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Gone, but probably forgotten.
Probably forgotten, indeed. It was absolutely.
Moving on. What would you like to jump into next?
Well, I got my Switch here.
So you want to do some Nintendoverse?
Well, it's Nintendoverse right now, huh?
Yes, I think, is that a new game up there, or one of them?
That's Odyssey, and over there is Splatoon
Yes.
2.
So Mario Odyssey.
Yes.
How is it? What is the review with only having it a couple days now? I am sure that is when I come over, you're usually playing Splatoon.
I am, yes.
But my thought process is, ever since getting this, that has been 24/7.
I have been on that a lot.
Okay.
The game is huge. I love.
Please don't tell me you already beat it, because
I'm going to take my time.
I hate that when you can fly right through a game and be like, oh, I'm done.
I think that game you could, if you wanted to, fly right through it.
You got to enjoy the game.
But some people do enjoy a game, just flying through it and winning it,
Yep.
bring it back. Some people enjoy it. Me, I enjoy the whole aspect of the game itself. Even the opening cutscene of the game got me. It was phenomenal. You already saw Bowser in his wedding tuxedo, Peach in her wedding gown, and Mario battling Bowser on his airship.
Oh, jeez.
That's how it opened up, you know? It was fantastic. Normally you see opening cutscene, Bowser comes and takes her.
Yeah.
We've already, so that, they cut that
We've seen
out.
it for 20 years.
Yeah, we cut that out. We're just going right to the battle scene, which is fantastic. I love that. It shows Cappy and Terra, which is who Cappy's trying to save. Long story short, Bowser takes Mario off the airship. So it starts off with Mario trying to track down the airship.
Okay.
All right. What takes the game forever is that there are different zones you can go to. I've heard there's like 823 moons you can collect in the whole game. So instead of running through each zone and getting only the acquired amount of moons, I'm taking my time.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find them all. And it's hard because it's everywhere. It's the most stupidest spots, too.
Well, it's like during college, I played Grand Theft Auto 4 or 5, or whatever it was. And there's like 500 pigeons throughout the 5 cities that you go through, 5 parts of the city. And it's one of those little side things where you see it and you got to kind of shoot the pigeon kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And they are all in such weird places. Like, you'll be climbing a water tower. Oh, there's one. Or,
yeah.
I mean, but, so those are the nice little, those are those little additions where, okay, I beat the game, but I kind of really haven't fully beaten everything.
Right.
So
No, I love how Mario turned to a side-scrolling 2D game to a 3D epic collection game now.
Yeah.
I love that.
It was weird. I was on one of those selling app things where you can go on and buy other people's junk, I guess. And somebody was selling a brand new sealed in the box Super Nintendo. I was like, oh, that'd be so great coming back, bring back your childhood. Because like I was saying to the family the other day, I go, that's what's selling right now a lot. You have old video game systems. People our generation now want what they had back when they were a kid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not cheap. I mean, they're even remaking like the old Sega and Nintendos where you can just plug it right into the TV real quick and it already has all the games downloaded onto it.
The Super Nintendo Classic is out now. $80, you get like 200 games.
Yep.
It's great.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, even the games themselves for different platforms they make. I have one for the Xbox that has a bunch of Sega games on it, and you just go through 100 different games. Which ones do you want to play, kind of thing. So even when I eventually get the Xbox One, one of the first games I'm getting is Rare Replay, just so I can play Battletoads again.
So you're definitely set on Xbox and not going to switch to Nintendo?
No, I'm set with my Xbox. There's just too many other games I'm more...
That's fair. I mean, that's why...
I'm more invested in.
That's why I enjoy these conversations, because now we have two different sides of gaming systems, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, other than that, yeah, I mean, all I can add to, it's not Nintendo-verse, but Gameverse for this, because it's gaming talk, is my coworker, like I said, he bought the South Park Fractured Butthole, and he already beat it. I'm like, oh, really? You had to already beat it? I didn't get to watch all of it get played.
Yeah.
But like you said, the thing with that game is you have so many different superheroes that you can change abilities to, because you get like a speedster, a flamethrower, all the super strength. You want to play as all of them. So you can go back, replay the game, and use a different ability
time,
and try them out, because you want to see what all the different abilities are.
Yeah.
So... But yeah, I can't wait to start playing some more. I told you we need a set date, because I want to play some Mario.
Yeah, man, the game's great.
Once you get a chance to play a good amount of it.
I like how you can take over villains too and use the villains' abilities to do stuff.
Cool.
It's great stuff, man. It's good stuff.
That's some good.
It's a rated 10 game.
Cool. Oh, all right. What about some box office heroes?
You want to do that now? Sure.
Do some box office?
I can go down to my notes down there.
All three of my box office heroes all debuted on the same day.
Okay.
This past Friday. October really wasn't that big of a month for movies. No. There were some decent titles, but they really didn't make box office hero numbers.
So again, we're going box office October 27th through the 29th.
Yes. So all these came out the 27th. Number 3, I'm going with Thank You for Your Service.
Okay.
Number 2, Matt Damon returns. Matt Damon, as in Suburbicon.
Oh, yeah.
Number 1.
That's that miniature movie, right?
No, this is where he lives in a suburban area, and he kills hitmen.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay.
And number 1, unfortunately, I'm going with Jigsaw.
Okay.
10th Saw film, something like that.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah, something.
Oh, you got 1 out of 3 right.
Oh, God. That bad.
Coming at number 3, Geostorm.
Yeah.
5 million.
Yeah, Gerard Butler.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 2 was a big shock, because the first one was a big flop.
Jigsaw?
Nope. A Madea Halloween 2.
Oh my God, the stupid Tyler Perry bullcrap.
$10 million.
How the heck did that make that much money?
I have no idea.
Oh my God, what were people drinking?
And you guessed number 1 correct. Jigsaw is our box office hero, coming in at 16 million.
Obviously, I'm already predicting number 1 for the next show, and it's going to be Thor Ragnarok.
Well, the next few shows.
It's going to be Thor Ragnarok.
They've already made over 10 million overseas.
So, we can already say that. I'm surprised Thank You for Your Service is not up on this list, because they were hyping this movie. It's a true story. They were hyping this movie to bring in the numbers like American Sniper did. I mean, it's I believe developed by the same producers and directors and stuff like that. I don't mind it. It's kind of, I know you don't like those true story, making money off people's stories kind of thing.
I was about to say, yeah. I'm not surprised, because I don't like movies based off real army business.
Yeah.
And Hollywood trying to make a profit off that.
But with Thank You for Your Service, it is exactly what it says in the title. We're thanking people coming home for their service, and we're trying to show people it's not easy for them coming home. There is a lot of things our veterans have to go through. I have veterans that have in my family that have recently come back home and go back multiple times.
Yeah.
My cousins had 2 tours over there. His sister, my other cousin, her husband, has done 3 tours. He was a Marine fighting, literally shooting right there in the sand dunes and stuff like that. So I have mad respect for them. And this movie, if it shows mad respect for the military personnel, I'm all for it.
Right.
The Patriots Day one with the Boston Marathon bombing, I thought it maybe was too soon.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I went and saw back in, like, it came out in 2005 with Nicolas Cage, World Trade Center. It was weird to watch in theaters. It was kind of emotional. But things like the Pearl Harbor movie, I don't know if you've seen that with Ben Affleck in it. And
No.
I think it's Kate Winslet. It shows the history of Pearl Harbor, and it's very emotional.
Wasn't Casey Affleck in that too?
It might have been. Yeah, he might have been. It was emotional watching the bombings of Pearl Harbor again, but it was also a lot of people hated it because it was a love story too, like Titanic.
Well, I mean, but Pearl Harbor's not that bad because it was like generations ago, and this movie's coming out now.
Yeah, well, like I said, majority of it's told by the whole love story too.
Yeah.
Of Ben Affleck and his girlfriend.
Right.
So, I don't know. People are gonna have. This is how I see it. If you're gonna get too emotional over it, don't go and see it. That's the thing. So, I can't believe I did that bad, but October wasn't a great month for movies.
It really wasn't. No.
So, November, though, I think we're going to have much better numbers with Thor 3 coming out and Justice League. I watched the latest Justice League trailer, and it made me a little bit more excited.
Really?
Because it wasn't just the full trailer. I might have sent it to you. I don't know if you've gotten it yet, but I definitely posted it on my Facebook. It wasn't the typical trailer we've seen. It was just more fighting action scenes, and it showed a little better performance out of the movie.
Okay.
So they keep showing the funniest scene, I think, is Barry Allen saying, "I don't know how to fight. I just kind of push people and run away."
Right.
I thought that was a little funny because it's really what Flash does. He really just pushes you and runs. So
I don't know.
moving on, we have, before the main event, I still have a little TV talk. I don't know if you have anything.
Well, we have the Flareoverse.
Oh, yes.
We forgot about the
forgot about that.
Flareoverse. One of our favorite
let
topics.
me go ahead and just do TV talk really
All right.
quick. AMC has a show coming out. I recommend everyone watches it. It's called The Secret History of Comics. It's the untold origin stories from celebrities who played these comic book heroes, comic book creators, and comic experts like Kevin Smith. I'm looking really forward to this. Comes out November 11th. I've already DVR'd it.
Okay.
I cannot wait to watch this. The other thing was I was watching Comic Book Men the other night, and the guest on there was Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
And he was talking about different things, how he came up with the poses from other movies. He got it, like where he has his shoulder dropped. It's because he had to wear that heavy glove.
Yeah.
And they said, "Do you realize what that looks like?" And it was from the movie Gunslinger, is what he looked like. Also, he is a big factor in why Mark Hamill became Luke Skywalker. In the 70s, they were...
England played a lot of huge parts.
Well, what happened was him and Mark Hamill were rooming together back in the 70s. And England went to cast for Apocalypse Now. And he didn't get that, but he jumped into... Across the hall was George Lucas trying to find Han Solo. And originally he wanted an older Han Solo. So that's why England went for that role. He didn't get it, but he saw that they were looking for what they wanted Luke Skywalker to look like.
Yeah.
And so he went home, told Mark Hamill, was just sitting there watching the Mary Tyler Moore show, and convinced him to go and audition.
That's awesome.
And like he said, now it's just history. So I think that was just amazing.
That's a cool story.
To get those backstories of how some actors got their start and became stars.
Yeah.
So that's my TV talk.
It's a cool story.
Oh, plus, I read an article. You'll love this because you're a Vegeta fan in DB Super and stuff. Apparently, coming up in DB Super, the rumor is Vegeta is going to save everybody and not Goku. Usually, like they said,
You know why?
Vegeta. Well, let me finish. Vegeta usually sets it up and Goku takes all the credit.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how Vegeta is going to maybe surpass Goku, become the strong one, and save the world.
Yep. They are giving Vegeta a power-up.
Good.
Big power-up.
Vegeta deserves his props.
He does.
He does kind of take the backseat to Goku a lot.
Which is weird because entire Dragon Ball universe, Vegeta's got the best character development out of anyone in that show.
Yeah.
His character development beats anyone in that show. So him finally jumping the helm of lead hero. It's a good
I mean,
touch.
in the Boo Saga, he kind of did when he sacrificed himself, and then when him and Goku used fusion. So it was kind of Vegeta saving the world too, but
I know,
he
but
really didn't get-
Goku had to convince him.
Yeah, so I had to throw a little DB Super. I like throwing a little bit of DB Super every week into it because DB Super is amazing.
Absolutely.
So, Flareverse?
Flareverse.
Okay. You want to take the reins this week?
I didn't do both episodes. I just did the most recent episode.
Okay. Yep.
Man, Supergirl. It reminds me of a fine wine.
Why do
it's getting better with age.
I was going to get to this.
It's getting better.
You hate season 1. You tolerated.
Season 1 I enjoyed. Season 2 was just garbage.
You didn't even watch half of it.
I did eventually finish it.
Okay.
Season 3 started off terrible,
Yep.
and it's slowly sparking my interest again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very weird, isn't it?
Yes.
But at least I'm sticking with it.
Because I'm off the bandwagon right now. You're jumping on and I'm jumping off.
Yeah.
I haven't enjoyed Supergirl this season.
Because it is kind of dull, you know, it is.
Yeah.
It really is. Their side stories are lame towards the main story. I liked it because, you know, it was John and Supergirl going to Mars.
Yes.
So I enjoyed the aspect of the storytelling.
Yep.
It was the other one with Alex I just couldn't care less
Oh,
about.
okay. Yeah.
Could not care less about. You know, so I ignored that part, playing, you know, Mario, and then when, you know, they go back to Mars, I'm like, okay, I'm watching this.
Yeah. That's the one thing I'm interested in seeing is where the story's going to go now that John has brought his father from Mars, where he thought he was the only one left, to Earth.
Yes.
To see, okay, is he going to turn into a villain or not? Maybe John's father. We'll see.
Oh, I had the same thought.
So
I had the same exact thought.
we'll see. Tuesdays though, Flash.
Do you think John's dad is
okay.
a white Martian?
Oh, my thought was that when they went to Mars, McGann wasn't the real McGann, and it was another white Martian taking her form.
Oh, okay.
But they gave John the staff and
Yep.
all that. So
That's the thing. This show is getting better because now there's something we can debate about, you know? Something decent we can stick our teeth into, which I like.
Flash.
Flash, here's what I get from this episode, man. We found out that when Barry returned from the Speed Force, he an exposure of black matter. At the same time, a city bus comes through, making, 13 new
12.
12 new metahumans. So I like that aspect, how we're explaining that. We have new villains coming out, which is fantastic.
So are you enjoying Flash so far?
Not as much as I did last season.
I usually, in the Nerdy Awards, vote for Flash for
Yeah.
Best Comic Book Show,
Yeah.
and I'm very disappointed this season in Flash. I have not enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm not really as enjoying it as I did last year, but I'm still enjoying it though. You know.
Yeah.
I like these small aspects of each episode.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go.
The one thing is, I always talked about, I thought the villain in Supergirl was going to be Brainiac. I think that's Brainiac in Flash. The guy hooked up to the machines, and he's just kind of sitting there.
I think his name was the Vision or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
come on, he
I know.
looks like
It's
Brainiac.
Brainiac-ish.
It looks
It
Brainiac,
is.
and that's all I'm thinking is, oh, Brainiac, come on! I want to see a Brainiac villain.
Brainiac-ish.
I
I'll give
so
you that.
badly want to see Brainiac.
But one of my best parts about this episode here was when Harry came back.
Yep.
And the storyline revolving on him just get Tom Govinoff back in the show.
Did you see listen to the Easter egg though in it?
Which
The
one?
reason why he came back?
Because he was kicked out of his other.
Jesse Quick has formed a Justice League on her Earth.
Yeah.
Are we going to see the Justice League on her Earth?
A version of the Justice League with Jesse Quick. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
And my biggest thing that came out of this episode was Wally West, Kid Flash.
Yeah.
Left Team Flash. Does he go to Earth, whatever, to join Jesse's team? I know they broke up.
Or does he go to Bloodhaven?
Ooh. You really want to see Nightwing, don't you?
I want. Well, remember, Kid Flash was part of the Teen Titans too.
Yeah.
So maybe we're gonna see some sort of formation of Damian Wayne coming in that kind of Teen Titans.
CW
because of Steve Amell's last episode bringing up Bruce Wayne.
CW can do so much right now.
So there's a lot of going on with all these shows intertwining.
Yeah.
So you could see a Teen Titan show starring Wally West.
I'll have to mention this when we end the show, but there was an Easter egg in that trailer of Justice League I got to mention.
Okay.
Later. Anything else for Flash? Because I know we're pushing for time.
We are. No. I just want to bring that up, you know.
Okay.
Arrow.
Arrow, amazing. Can't complain about it.
It's one of my favorite show.
I love the fact that him and Felicity are finally getting back together again.
Yep.
So.
And do we like Diggle as Green Arrow?
I don't mind it. I love the green monster, whatever they call it, his crossbow.
Where do we think we're going with this?
We're going a Walking Dead Daryl Dixon thing.
It's kind of too soon to know where we're going with this at
Okay.
all, I think. I don't really have any speculations. I really want... I still am banking on Diggle being Green Lantern. Mm-hmm. I really am. So, I think we're going to find out more when the next crossover episode hits.
Okay. And Legends.
I took no note on Legends.
Legends is... it's a hard show to talk about, but it's still great.
I love this show, yeah.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
I know in our main event we had it set up. I don't know, do you want to do Wonder Woman or do you want to do the DCEU verse?
We are going to do Wonder Woman.
Okay.
We're going to fly through it and see if we can do the rest of it.
Okay.
I do want to bring up this DC news before we hit Wonder Woman. It's real quick. DC did finally cast their Shazam in Zachary Levi, best known for his part in the series Chuck. And just to let you know, it's a terrible cast.
Only person that's going to carry that is Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam.
He has not been officially announced as Black Adam.
I got the news.
So, because I actually, just before we hit air, I checked the IMDb page for Shazam. Mm-hmm. The only cast is Zachary Levi right now.
Because I have an untitled Black Adam movie, and he is slated as Black Adam.
Maybe it's a standalone Black Adam movie.
Yeah, it is.
But in the Shazam, there's just him right now.
Okay. So, Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Out of 5 stars, I gave it a 4.5.
I give it around a 3.5.
3? Okay.
3.5, yeah.
I love the beginning of the movie because it tells her story from childhood, and you were waiting for it. You're like, come on, mention being made out of clay.
I had to hear it.
And they did.
Several times.
They tell the story of Ares, how the fight with the Amazons, everything like that. Everything in the beginning of the movie was to a key.
And that's why it got up to a 3 for me. Was the beginning of that movie. Really hit me good. I liked it.
I mean, we even had the typical superhero DC thing where she takes a death really to heart, where her aunt gets shot when the Germans invade the island. I like the fact that throughout the entire movie, you're thinking this German general who she's going to try to kill, and because she's going to go fight in World War I, is Ares. And you think throughout the whole movie, at least I did, he really is, because he's taking those that gas and it makes him super strong. So that's where I'm thinking he's Ares, for instance. Come to find out when she kills him, he's not. And Ares was one of the guys on the British
side,
British side who really is Ares. So you don't. It blew my mind that it's one of the good guys who's Ares, and he like he said, I didn't start the war, but I antagonized people to start it.
Yeah.
He kind of was in their ear and blowing.
That's what Ares does.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So I thought it was an amazing fight scene at the end. It had that typical Wonder Woman music and the fight scene. I love the fact that she had the sword. She used the lasso of truth a lot.
She did.
And the one thing you liked that a lot of people hated was the outfit. You really loved the Wonder Woman outfit.
It wasn't bad. It looked nice.
It was perfect.
The
problem is you get these people who are complaining it was too dark. Have you not watched every single DCEU movie?
Obviously, they've never seen any of the DC movies right now coming out.
Exactly. Marvel's going bright. DC's going dark.
This is what Zack Snyder does. He takes DC movies, he turns it dark. So now I've accepted that, so that's why I liked the suit and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I've accepted his directing and his producing style for these movies.
So, I'm glad we finally got to see it. It took longer than expected.
It did take longer than
I mean,
expected.
it came out in March, something like that, and come almost November by the time we watched it. But definitely the best DCEU movie to date. There's a reason it's made $850 million.
Right. Don't get me wrong, this is probably my favorite DC movie so far. What ranked it low for me was that it was too much of me thinking I'm watching a Captain America movie.
Okay.
You know, it was too Captain America for me to really back behind Wonder Woman.
Okay. So I know you wanted to quickly talk about upcoming DCEU.
What do we have time?
About 4 or 5 minutes.
Before 5 minutes, let's put this on the burner for next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
My thought, that was the problem. We had so much to talk about in wrestling. I know some people don't.
A mini segment for
I know a lot of people don't like wrestling, but hey, that's what we were born on. The one thing I wanted to add was the Justice League trailer. So I watched a new trailer for it, and the Easter egg in it was amazing. And I know the coming out in 2020, I think is what it is the Green Lantern movie, Green Lantern Corp. And I keep mentioning, will we see anything dealing with Green Lantern in the Justice League? Well, one of the villains mentions that to the Justice League, you don't have a Man of Steel. He says, you have no Green Lantern, or no Lantern, he says. You have no Lantern and no Man of Steel. And you have to be listening very close to hear him say you have no Lantern. Is that a push talking, obviously, about Green Lanterns? Because with Darkseid's group, they've been all over the universe.
Right.
So obviously, they've run into Green Lanterns. That has to be a push, you would think, to Green Lantern. Do we see a hint of a Hal Jordan or John Stewart in Justice League? Somewhere's a cameo.
I'll tell you right now, it's not going to be Hal Jordan.
Okay.
It's definitely going to be John Stewart.
Okay.
But, yeah.
They have to. With that little Easter egg, you'd think they'd have a cameo of Stewart not being the Green Lantern yet.
I'm having with DC movies that they don't tie their movies in very well at all. So they probably won't. And just expect their viewers to be like, hey, we expect you to understand who the Green Lanterns are.
My thought is they're the guy who is cast as Green Lantern has to make a cameo appearance. It's just like when they introduced Legends of Tomorrow from Flash. They had Hawk Girl in there, but not as Hawk Girl yet.
Yeah.
They have to have something like that, where you see John Stewart in his everyday life.
Well, you can only hope they do that.
Yep.
But I don't see it happening.
Okay. And obviously, so at the end, they have Alfred looking at somebody who came into the Batcave, and he says, I was told to expect you. I mean, obviously, that's Clark as Superman. Or is it somebody else? Is it obvious, or is it going to be a surprise?
No, it's going to be Superman.
But in the black suit.
Maybe.
I mean, that's what everyone's talking about, is it's going to be the black suit Superman. And my other thing is, real quickly before we end, do we see Darkseid in the first Justice League movie?
No.
Or do we have to wait for the sequel?
We'll wait to the sequel.
Maybe we'll get, like, in the Avengers with Thanos showing up right at the end. Darkseid, kind of.
If they want to do their movies right, yes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I don't see it happening.
So, we'll leave the DCEU universe. It's such a hard thing to say. Next week.
It is a tongue twister.
Because I really don't have anything planned yet unless we watch another movie coming out, because we have a lot of movies to watch. We have Transformers 5, Pirates of the Caribbean 5, The Mummy, and some others.
We might do Pirates. But
Maybe.
for right now, we'll start off with the DC.
Okay,
universe.
well, unfortunately, we're running out of time, folks. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Legend of the Nerds. Don't forget, you can watch this episode and every other episode on our Facebook page and on our YouTube page. So like our Facebook, subscribe at our YouTube. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at KrillinMan. And you heard it first. Next week, we'll dive more into the DCEU. It's a tongue twister. Talk about all the movies that are officially confirmed coming up through 2020. And I also have a list of untitled movies that I would love to get your thought process on some of these.
All right.
The biggest one I can't wait to talk about is a Batgirl movie. Maybe get Nightwing in it.
We'll see.
We'll see. So thanks again, and remember, stay nerdy.